Welcome everyone. My name is Roland Libby with the Prodigal Group. We're here today to talk about the single most nerve-wracking part of buying a home, the inspection. This is where the dreams meet reality. The inspection report often feels like a list of deal breakers, but I'm here to tell you that's not the case. We're going to decode these reports together. We'll learn how to separate the minor repairs from the major structural issues. This knowledge is power. It allows you to negotiate confidently and make a clear-eyed decision about your investment. You need to understand what the inspection is really telling you. My goal is to shift your perspective from fear to factual assessment. We want to move past the anxiety and focus on the facts. We'll cover the 5 most common and most expensive issues. So let's start by setting realistic expectations for what we're going to find. The first thing you must accept is this: no home is perfect, especially not a resale home. If you expect a perfect report, you will be greatly disappointed and you will likely lose the house. Every single home inspection, even on new construction, will generate a list of issues. The inspector's job is to find problems, and they are very good at finding problems. If you will see things like leaky faucets, loose railings, and minor electrical issues, these are normal. They are maintenance items, not reasons to panic. The key is to distinguish between a maintenance issue and a material defect. A maintenance issue is a to-do list for the weekend. The material defect is a significant cost that affects the safety or structural integrity of the home. We need to focus our energy on those material defects. That's where the real money is, and that's what we need to negotiate. Now that we have a realistic baseline, let's talk about how we'll approach. Our goal today is simple. We want to move you from a place of fear to a place of fact. The inspection is not a pass or fail test. It is a detailed risk assessment of the property. When you receive that 50-page report, you need a strategy to read it. We're going to give you that strategy today. We will focus on identifying the true deal breakers, the things that cost tens of thousands of dollars to fix, and the things that are pennies on the dollar. This knowledge gives you leverage. You can use the facts in the report to negotiate a better price, ask for repairs, or if necessary, walk away with confidence. You are in control. The inspection contingency is your safety net. It's your opportunity to pull back the curtain and see the true condition of the property before you commit. We're going to spend the rest of our time focusing on where to look for those big ticket items. Let's dive into the 5 most common and most expensive issues we see. When I review an inspection report with a buyer, we immediately filter out the small stuff and focus on what I call the big 5. These are the 5 areas that represent the largest financial risk. If you have any issues in one of these 5 areas, you are looking at repair bills that can easily exceed 5 figures. We're talking about the structural, the roof, the HVAC system, the plumbing, and the electrical system. Everything else is usually manageable. Why do we focus here? Because these systems are essential to the function and safety of the home. They are also the most expensive and disruptive to repair or replace. A bad roof or a cracked foundation can derail your budget immediately. We need to assess the age and condition of these 5 components, and we'll start by looking at the very top and the very bottom of the home, the roof and the foundation. Let's start with the structural, specifically the roof and the foundation. These 2 components are the bookends of the home, and they are critical. A roof is your home's first line of defense against water intrusion. Water is the enemy of all homes. We need to know the roof's age, its remaining lifespan, and if there are any signs of active leaks or significant damage. A full replacement can cost anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000 depending upon the material. The foundation is literally the base of your investment. Inspectors look for signs of major cracking, shifting, or water penetration in the basement or crawl spaces. Minor settling cracks are normal, but significant movement or bowing walls are a serious expensive problem. If the foundation or the roof is compromised, you have a major issue that requires immediate attention and likely a significant price adjustment. Next, we'll move inside and look at the 3 critical systems that keep the house running. We've talked about the structure, the bones of the house. Now we need to talk about the systems that make it livable: HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. These are the mechanical guts of the home, and they are where the most expensive surprise repairs often hide. You need to know the age and condition of these 3 systems because they dictate your comfort and safety. For the HVAC, the inspector will look at the age of the furnace and AC unit. A unit past its lifespan is a major expense you need to factor into your budget. Next is plumbing. We're looking for the type of piping. Older homes might have galvanized or polybutylene pipes, which are ticking time bombs for leaks and need replacement. Finally, the electrical system. Are you dealing with old knob and tube wiring or an outdated fuse box? These can be fire hazards and will likely need upgrading to handle modern power demands. Understanding the state of these systems is crucial for negotiating repairs or walking away from a house that is simply too much work. Now that we've covered the systems, let's look at the hidden risks that can affect your health and safety. When buying a home, you're not just buying the structure, you're buying the environment it sits in. This brings us to the environmental and safety hazards. The things you can't always see but must address. The biggest hazard we look for are radon, mold, and asbestos. Radon is an odorless, colorless gas that is the second leading cause of lung cancer. It's naturally occurring, and testing is cheap and non-negotiable in many areas. Mold is often a symptom of a bigger problem, usually water intrusion. If you see it, you need to find the source of the moisture and fix that first. Asbestos is common in homes built before 1980, found in things like floor tiles and insulation. It's usually safe if undisturbed, but removal is costly and highly regulated. These hazards aren't always deal breakers, but they require professional mitigation. You need to know exactly what you're dealing with before you close. Understanding these environmental risks help us avoid the ultimate fear of every home buyer, the money pit. The term money pit is scary, but it really just means a house with the cost of necessary repairs outweighing the home's value or your budget. The key to spotting a money pit is understanding the difference between cosmetic fixes and major structural or system failures. A house with ugly wallpaper and old carpet is not a money pit. That's a weekend project. A house with a failing foundation, a roof that needs immediate replacement, and an HVAC system on its last leg is a money pit. You must prioritize the big ticket items: the roof, the foundation, and the major systems we just discussed, HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. These are the expensive repairs. If your inspection report shows multiple failures in these critical areas, you need to pause. Don't let a low purchase price blind you to hundreds of thousands of dollars in deferred maintenance. A good inspector helps you quantify these costs so you can make a clear-eyed decision. Now, once you have all the information, the big question is, what do you do with it? Now that you have the inspection report, you face the critical decision: negotiate or walk away. This is where your realtor truly earns their fee, guiding you through a strategic response. Remember, the inspection is not a punch list for the seller to fix every minor flaw. We're looking for major defects, major safety issues, and things that weren't disclosed. Focus your negotiation on the big ticket items like a failing roof, a cracked foundation, or a faulty HVAC system. Don't sweat the cosmetic stuff or minor repairs. That's normal wear and tear. If the seller refuses to budge on a major issue that will cost you thousands, you have to be prepared to walk away. That's the power of the inspection contingency. It protects your earnest money and prevents you from buying a money pit. We're moving from being reactive too strategic. Let's recap the real power you gain from the inspection process. You've gone from being an excited but vulnerable buyer to an informed decision maker. First, you gain leverage. Knowing the home's true condition gives you the upper hand in negotiations, allowing you to ask for repairs or a credit. Second, you gain clarity on the home's true cost. The inspection reveals future expenses, letting you budget for that new water heater or roof replacement that's coming in the next few years. And finally, you gain peace of mind. If you don't negotiate anything, you know exactly what you're buying, which eliminates buyer's remorse later on. This knowledge is your greatest asset. It allows you to buy with confidence, not just hope. Now let's open up the floor for your questions. We've covered a lot of ground today, from finding the right inspector to making that final decision to negotiate or walk away. I know you probably have specific scenarios or questions about your own home buying process. So let's take a few minutes to address what's on your mind. Don't be shy. There are no bad questions when it comes to protecting your investment. I'm here to help you apply these principles to your unique situation. Feel free to type your questions in the comments below or give me a call